Hey guys, so we have a different kind of haul video today. Joseph, what are we unhauling?
So we bought
a box. Joseph, what are we unhauling?
So we bought
a box.
Close to $200 of comics from Challengers Comics.
And where is Challengers located?
Chicago.
And we're in Louisiana. Why did we buy from a comic shop all the way up in Chicago?
We used to listen to a great podcast called Graphic Novel TK. They have kind of wrapped it up. But they interviewed Challengers Comics on it, and we found out that they had a podcast, and I was listening to them. I kind of liked them, so I started listening to it, and Becca got really into the drama of
as a former
comic book shop
convention artist, there is a lot that working that convention tables selling comics and selling comics from a brick and mortar have in common. And there's a lot of toxic positivity in the convention space and in the art space where you're not supposed to complain ever. And it was super refreshing to hear them just talk candidly about their experiences.
Yeah, reciting almost the exact things that
the
you say.
same kind of problems, yeah. It made me feel like seen, and like the problem wasn't just me. There are some systemic problems. Also, their personalities are just great. They're fun to listen to. And though we've never had a chance to go to their shop, hoping if I ever get into cake, I'm gonna go to Challengers. It sounds amazing. Like they have a huge kidlit section. They've got a big manga section. Their employees sound super nice. Like it just sounds like it's a cool place to visit. So
yeah. When I was up in Chicago, or last time I was up in Chicago, I wanted to visit them. I didn't realize they were so close to a train station. Otherwise, I definitely would have. I assumed I would need to drive there, not thinking about how.
And you didn't have your own.
Were.
You went with your family.
I literally could have walked to the train station, trained there, and then checked out the shop.
But you were visiting family, so you didn't have your own transportation at the time.
Yeah.
So if we're ever in the Chicagoland area, we're definitely going to go visit Challengers.
So I guess let's see.
Yeah,
let's
unbox. Well, he knows.
So the majority. Yeah, I sent you some things.
Yeah, but I have ADHD, so I forgot. So it's like a surprise.
Challengers has one big sale a year, basically. The I Love You, But I've Chosen Comics sale. So one of the few things we have bought from them before was actually the I Love You, But I've Chosen Comics shirt.
Which gets a lot of use.
Yeah.
We're about the same size, and we take turns wearing it. Now we can wear one of each day.
I think this is our first time actually buying comics.
Sorry, I just realized what's in here.
Yeah. So they sent us a bookmark. I think we already
Look
have one.
Look how cute this one is. They do different bookmarks every year.
I think they included it. We support them on Patreon, so I think they included it with their yearly cards.
Who did the Cardinal Cusack did the art? Oh no. Somebody else did the Four Coma.
Well,
good thing I'm full of ideas.
Four Coma, yeah.
Oh.
They actually remember seeing it, and that's where you
I love Four Coma. They actually asked me to do their bookmark, and I was going to do a Four Coma of different kids kind of escaping into different types of comics, because the theme is like enjoying comics, and I got into comics. I mean, I've been reading newspaper comics, but I got into comics when I was 13, so you can imagine. Nerdy girl with ADHD, rural Louisiana. I had somewhat abusive family. I had a lot of escaping to do, and comics were my escape, and I wanted to show kind of a happier way of showing how comics can broaden your world. And maybe I was going to send them sketches of what I was going to do anyway. Maybe I should sketch that out anyway, but I do have other ideas that are really cute.
Yep.
So, but this, I can't compete. This art is super duper cute.
So just to give you an idea, I only looked through the science fiction and manga sections. They had, their entire store.
They have so much, yeah.
So I just skimmed through stuff quickly.
Yeah.
So this caught my eye. I forget what it's called. Dead Demons Destruction.
Yeah, I think it's D.
Yeah, so it kind of reminded me a little bit of Earthbound, a little bit of 20th Century Boys, and it just seemed kind of like Chunibyo alien stuff, basically.
The art, I know it's not Inio Asano, but I have looked at that many times because the art is reminiscent of Inio Asano's art. Is it not? Maybe it is. Am I dumb?
I don't know. It's hard to read. Oh yeah,
It is Hideo Asano.
Yeah.
And I love Asano's, like, Soul Linen is one of my favorite comics.
I knew that. That's why I sent it your way.
His comics, their comics tend to trend very, very dark, so I have to be really careful about which ones I read.
But yeah, so most of it is number ones
because we're trying new things.
Yeah.
However, I've been reading Asadora. It is so good. It's a Naoki Urasawa manga. It is about a young girl who loses most of her family in a traumatic accident that affects most of the area they live in. She is adopted by a former World War II pilot, and he teaches her how to fly. And it is about kaiju and about dogfighting battles, like aerial dogfighting. And it's got this just really fun female main character. Naoki Urasawa writes some of my favorite female characters in seinen manga, so I've been enjoying Asadora. If that sounds cool to you, you should read Asadora, but that's why we're on volume 6 and not volume 1 for this one.
So Becca can talk about Your Turn to Die.
I've been watching Manly Badass Hero play it, and
yeah,
I love Danganronpa.
I
I like Your Turn to Die.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try the manga. I actually didn't pick this one. You should talk about this one. It's cute. The art looks super cute. I just don't know anything about it.
Yeah, so I don't quite remember.
This is Futari Escape.
I think this was about, the two mangaka, or at least one of them was
Oh.
a mangaka. So
I'm always a sucker for those.
Yeah, there was 2 or 3 stories that I sent to you that were about artists. One of them was about, you didn't end up picking it, but one of them was about 2 artists that were in a relationship, and I was surprised that you weren't.
I don't know why I didn't
that.
pick
Or
it.
actually, I think it might have been a writer and artist couple.
I don't know why. I really don't.
It seemed to have themes of depression and stuff
That
like
might
that.
have been
and it was
why.
about like slice of life, like just what is.
Or
the
I
life
already
like.
have
It wasn't
it.
like sports manga. This is the hustle of making comics or whatever.
Right.
It was just like
right.
2 people,
which I
living together.
normally really dig, but I may have bought it on Kindle, and that might have been why.
But this was the other one. I can't quite remember what it was about. 2 young women, one an overworked manga artist, the other a jobless slacker, try to escape the realities of adulthood. Yeah. Whether it's by going to debt while splurging on an epic meal, yeah, I think that.
Relatable.
Or taking an impromptu trip. Yeah.
Harder to be relatable at this point because we've got pets, but still relatable.
And this is a Yuri comedy as well, so I think both of them were about relationships.
I still don't know why I didn't pick the other one, other than maybe you told me to limit how many we were going to get. I don't know.
So I sent her a list of like 7 things.
He curated
things.
for me, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if he said all of them, it probably would have been fine, but...
Next is Mamo. We don't know a lot. I don't know a lot about it, but I love the art. The art looks gorgeous.
So this is actually new. This is the only thing that wasn't
on sale.
Not on sale. Everything else we got at what's their discount? Like 15, 25%. A significant discount, especially for books. Books don't usually. The entire stores of books don't usually go on sale like that.
And it's when they do, it's usually like weird parts in the sequence, not the newest, not the oldest, like the middle. So if you're starting something,
an example of 20th Century Boys, like the volume 7 and volume 12 of the perfect compilation was on sale, but we have the not perfect compilations of it. We are missing some, but supposedly people prefer the ones that we have. So I was like, I don't feel like trying to.
I'd have gotten the omnibus ones if that had been available at the time.
They weren't. They're relatively new. I think
I know.
They came out like 4
I would have
years ago
bought
or
them
something.
if.
Yeah. So this is from Boom. Here, you tell people about it. I can't quite remember what drew us to it.
Cartoonist Sass Millage, The Lost Carnival, a Dick Grayson graphic novel, makes her astonishing debut. I wouldn't call it a debut, though, if she's already had, like, a comic out. Makes her astonishing debut in her first original graphic novel that answers the question of how we all reconcile our responsibilities with our dreams for our future. Orla O'Reilly, that's a tongue twister, the youngest in a long line of hedge witches, is compelled to return home after the death of her grandmother, Mamo. In the wake of her Mamo's passing, Mamo, that's like a Louisiana. I mean, it's not just, but I do hear Mamo and Mamo
maybe it did say something about Southern witches, and that might have been what drew me to it. Yeah. Or maybe it said something about swamp witches or something.
I feel like we were talking to someone else, though, and they wanted to do a swamp witches comic, and I was like, as the resident swamp witch, I say do it. In the wake of her Mamo's passing, seas are impossible to fish, crops have soured, even Joe Manolo's attic is taken over by a poltergeist. And to make matters worse, it appears that the cause is Mamo, or her mislaid bones, that is. Can Orla shoulder the responsibility of quieting her Mamo's spirit and saving her hometown? Or will stepping up to help mean becoming the new witch of Hairsden, like Mamo always wanted?
So this was a horror that sounded interesting.
What's the name? It's hard for me to read.
Rumble.
Something Rumble?
Yeah. I think this is the first thing that came upon. I think it's a sci-fi horror.
And you can tell it's an image because there's like 30 names on the cover. You got a colorist, you got a letterer,
Yeah.
you got 2 writers and an illustrator, you got an inker and a penciler.
Rumble is kinetic, visceral, and impactful. A pure comics experience from comicbook.com. So they're making comparisons to Hellboy, it seems like. Or, it's from the writer and artist of Hellboy, it seems like. Oh, no, wait. So is BPRD Hellboy? I
Yes,
thought
that's
that
in
was.
that universe.
Yeah, okay. Because it's saying other things
Cool,
around
okay.
it.
That's going to be really good then.
Yeah.
Either read it to them or...
Okay. I was trying to figure out what to
It's
read
hard
to them.
it's hard to parse as you're...
Honestly, Image could do better with their back of the book.
It's hard to read, yeah.
It's not that it's hard to read. Well,
And lengthy.
it's somewhat hard to read. It's that I don't necessarily know
It's
where to
vibrant
go
green
to
on
find...
dark red.
So, as someone who has laid out the backs of your books, I can tell you this is
I'm garbage at
this is
layout.
what I would have done like 6 years ago, and now I
Are you
now I know
suggesting
better.
that Image should hire you to
No.
lay out their books
Please-
because you have
please do
multi-book
not.
experience now?
I do have multi-book experience
And you
now.
love it so much.
The action is exciting. The characters are fun and a little weird. The monsters are terrifying. This is a darker and slightly humorous take on the fantasy action-adventure story. Arkudi and Heron make it their own and do a tremendous job with it.
Which action-adventure story is this a darker version of?
I guess something called Rumble. I don't know. So I read the blurb on
Challenger's yeah.
website.
And they probably did a great
do
job selling it.
I don't think they write them themselves. They've actually talked about that a decent amount in the podcast. They pulled that from somewhere. But they do a good job of populating their website. They've actually been talking about how they
Curating?
aren't doing a good job, but almost everything I looked at had
Was
a good
great.
blurb. Yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, this sounded like it would be an interesting sci-fi type horror thing. I don't read a whole lot of sci-fi
That
horror.
art looks familiar. It looks like either Jorge or Morgan's, but I don't think it is. Nah. And then...
Yeah, the most expensive item, the Saga Boxed Set of 9 books. I don't actually know how many are out right now. I think it's about 10, maybe 11.
Because everyone has been talking up Saga for like 20 years. I was reading it in grad school and I got very frustrated with my inability to find it sequentially in the local comic shops there. So I just kind of put off reading it until it finished, which we all know Saga's not going to finish. But this is it's a heavy chunk. This is like a good start to starting Saga. So
is Saga in full color? I assume so with their pace of release.
What I read had been. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
A digital color, but it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
So what are you the most excited to read?
Probably Saga. But maybe the DDD.
It is an Asano book.
Yeah.
Okay, I am also. I can't. Okay, I'm in the middle of reading Asadora.
Yeah.
So
you're probably most
I probably am
excited
going to
about
read 6 next.
that. Yeah.
Not that I'm not excited about it, but I already know it's
I mean,
good.
you set it aside.
I did.
From
I
everything,
ordered it
so-
aside.
Yeah, like basil, pretty much.
But I am pretty excited about finally reading Asano's newer thing. I'm also kind of excited. We've decided she's a swamp witch, but the Hedge Witch book also looks really exciting. Though I have to minor vent here. Where were all these publishers interested in like swamp style living when I was pitching my swamp books? They were like, that is too niche. No one will care. and now they're
I mean, I didn't see that
opening
much
their eyes.
stuff. Mamo kind of, or whatever, however.
No, I've been
stuck
seeing on
out.
Twitter like more of that kind of popping up. You know,
Yeah.
all Molly McGrew. Where were you when I was young and cared and had the energy for this? So that is also pretty exciting. This one, Rumble, I want to know what story they're referencing.
The blurb on Challenger's website did so much better job of selling me on it. I was pretty excited about this. But if I had just seen this book in the bookstore,
You wouldn't
I
have
would
picked
only
it
be
up.
vaguely interested in it. But Challenger's blurb did a good job of selling the book to me.
That is to be like absolutely blunt, because in my opinion, American action, horror, whatever tends to not be my thing at all. I do not like grimdark. I think it is a very boring genre. That said, Hellboy and BPRD, that's very different. But generally I stay away from American stuff like this, but I'll read Japanese stuff like this.
Most of the sci-fi stuff was grimdarky, which is why, I mean, I looked through almost
And
all
I love
the sci-fi
sci-fi.
stuff.
It doesn't have to be like that.
I think all that I really got was Rumble. I don't. Mamo might have been in sci-fi. But I don't
wouldn't
think it
call
was.
that sci-fi.
Yeah,
That's
DDD
fantasy.
Was so DDD, Rumble, and
Do
Saga.
you
That's
think,
a decent
because
amount.
like I know more about Your Turn to Die, it's very Danganronpa-y. Do you think this is sci-fi-ish? I would classify it as psychological thriller
I'm
and
pretty sure
sci-fi.
it was in the manga section, but that's a little confusing because isn't Your Turn to Die an American product
No.
or Canadian or something?
No.
Oh, it is Japanese.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it was a Danganronpa fan game originally,
Yeah.
which it stands on its own. It's great on its own. I'm not like, I love Danganronpa, so I'm not. So, what are you guys most excited about from this? What would you be the most excited to read? Futari Escape, Your Turn to Die, Rumble, Mamo, Asadora,
Or way too much
or
Saga.
Saga. Oh, it's breaking my back. Let me know down in the comments below. If you live in Chicago, you should check out Challengers because we cannot at this time. And do you have anything else, anything you want to say?
Yeah, where's our shirt?
That's a good question.
They probably
They probably
shipped it
shipped it
separately.
separately,
Yeah, because
yeah.
they did charge us a separate shipping
Oh,
fee
that
for
makes
that.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was really looking forward to the shirt.
Yeah, I assumed it wasn't in the
You kind of have
box.
a collection of like nerd event shirts. Like he's wearing the MTAC 2015 shirt right now. Basically, if an event has a shirt and it's a nerdy event and the shirt looks decent, you will get it.
It mostly depends on the design. So technically, that shirt was free other than paying for shipping because we spent more than $100 on comics. But you can buy it separately, at least during the time window of the
Yeah, because
sale.
they're having them printed. So they're doing like a set number rather than just buying them in bulk.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on this haul. I don't normally talk or do book stuff at all. People have asked me why I don't review comics. It is because I am a comic artist and I am not looking to shoot any gun that could be pointed back at me. I keep my mouth shut. All I ever do is recommendations. And even that, I don't want to make this that kind of a channel. So, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys again. I will see you guys. It's kind of rare to have Joseph, so let's give him a round of applause in the comments. And I'll see you guys again another time with something else completely different. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day and let me know down in the comments what you're currently reading and what you would recommend that I read next. Bye guys! So Joseph, what is the in total?
Oh, price?
Yes.
I don't think it says on this, but I believe it was about 160.
They did do an itemized list, which I appreciate, but I am
And
disappointed
it has the shirt listed
that
on
they
it.
didn't
So
do
that's
an in
making me-
total.
Making me wonder if it was supposed to be in the box.
They're very nice. You could always email them.
Yeah, I could.
I wasn't doing this to put them on the spot, by the way. I just wanted to know what the in total was, and I thought they'd put it on
It's
their
not listed
invoice.
on here. No.
Pat and Dow, put your totals on the invoice. Nerds like us need that for our bookkeeping. Every time I'm done, I'm not done. I want you to show them all the covers.
What is this? A poster or something?
No, I think it's just like to protect it. Oh! Oh, it's a something! Oh, it's a something!
I legit don't know what's in this, but I
don't
it's
either.
A poster.
This is, oh, cool. Is that an art book?
No, I think it's mini print.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's like an art book, but loose. So this is in the Saga Boxed Set. And the box set includes volumes 1 through 9.
I don't know how spoilery these are. I don't actually know anything about
I
the
don't
story.
either, so sorry if this is spoilers. Maybe I'll do like a possible spoiler warning, because I don't know. But I wouldn't want to. I think it's just pretty art, but I'm dumb. And then show us the covers of
I don't know
the
if anyone
books.
cares. There's minor damage, but
We don't.
yeah,
I ruin books, so this is why you shouldn't loan me books.
it's heavy.
Okay, so that's 9.
So, yeah, I think it might have been.
Oh,
yeah,
it's the covers. Okay, well then that can't be spoilers
figured.
because these are all out.
Yep. So it's just prints of all the covers.
Bookmarks.
Book plates.
Maybe they are book plates. Maybe I'll use them as book plates. Cool. Thank you.